Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. We're going to talk some horror movie news and haunted house news this afternoon. Since tomorrow is not our usual movie day, we're going to do something different tomorrow. We're going to try a paranormal podcast out. Kind of like an offshoot to the Bloody Binge called Shivers. Tomorrow we are going to actually talk about the paranormal side of Colonial Williamsburg, uh, kind of like a theme park, kind of a historical area in Eastern Virginia, very close to my heart. Somewhere I used to go paranormal investigating, ghost hunting all the time. But for today, today I figured that's not going to really tie in tomorrow with the news, so we're going to go ahead and do something a little different today and do the horror movie news today, and then talk about paranormal tomorrow. So our first story actually is kind of like breaking news that just got listed an hour ago on ihorror.com. Um I really haven't read the full story yet, but the entertainment site IGN has confirmed today that Jason Voorhees isn't dead. It reports that the Inc. That Horror Inc. is behind the launch of Jason Universe, a Friday the 13th based outlet that will span a wide range of platforms from entertainment, games, immersive experiences, merchandise, and more, with more announcements to be made about the project coming this year. Robert Barsamian, president of Horror Incorporated, said in a statement to IGN, for decades, Jason shocked and thrilled audiences who kept coming back for more. We're excited to work with Victor Miller and Mark Toberoff on new projects we'll announce in the coming months. It's not a very good written article. Um, for those following the Friday the 13th rights courtroom drama, we've talked about this before. Miller wrote the first film and was granted full control over those rights, but director Sean Cunningham owns Jason as an intellectual property, basically the hockey mask wearing Jason. Since plot twist, he wasn't the killer in the original movie. Notably, Miller is not a part of Horror Inc. Also, curiously, a hockey mask is used as part of the Horror Inc. logo. So we'll have to see what happens. Barsamian has a history with the franchise, having funded the first film and a few of its sequels. He is also an executive producer of Crystal Lake, which is the show it's in production, but it's up in the air. I know last week someone reported online that it was canceled, and it was not canceled. It was never canceled. They just got rid of the showrunner, Brian Fuller, because he's got a lot. Brian Fuller's got a little bit extra on his plate right now. He's got a few accusations out there that he has to deal with. I'm not going to go into any of that because I don't know the full story, so that's for someone else to go over. But Robert Barsamian also funded the making of the Friday the 13th game, which I used to love that game until the glitches and people started taking advantage of the glitches, and became almost impossible to kill people because they would hide just right where Jason couldn't get them. Um, Brian Fuller was a part of the team for the Peacock spinoff, but left the project because, as he posted on Instagram, A24 is elected to go a different way with the material. Well, it's because they didn't want him running it. They didn't want him running the show at that point. However, Barsamian says it can be both. It can be both. We're focused on honoring the legacy while elevating the fan experience and appealing to today's horror audiences as we develop new ways to watch, interact, and engage with the Jason universe. Sherry Khan, global GM of Horror Inc., says Jason has been a pop culture icon for over 40 years, thanks to movies and video games. We can't wait to introduce new Jason Universe activations to these amazing fans. So, what, what? Shut up, Siri. Um, so yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see. I'm excited for that, definitely. Um, New Jason movies, new Jason video games, maybe figures, TVs. Crystal Lake's coming out. It's going to be good for Jason fans. Um, so yeah, let's get into this. But that was some breaking news because that just dropped about an hour ago on iHorror, and I think I saw it on Bloody Disgusting as well. So let's go ahead and jump into some haunted house news. There's a little bit of haunted house news. Again, where we'll get the further we get into the year, the closer to fall we get, the more Halloween news and haunted house news we'll have. Especially here, probably within the next month or so, we'll start getting an idea of how Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights is going to start shaping up, and how Hollow Scream and Kings Islands and or Cedar Fair's Halloween Haunts and Six Flags Halloween and stuff like that. We'll see how they're going to start shaping up the next couple of months. But for right now, let's talk about what we do have. So the seminar lineup is now available for the Midwest Haunters Convention, taking place June 7th through 9th at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois. Rosemont, of course, is an actual suburb of Chicago, Illinois. Um, Now, I will say that a lot of this news is coming from Haunted Attraction Network, their newsletter, because really it's one of the only places to find news about haunted houses and that anymore. But from the art of distressing costumes to dedicated home hunters classes, this year's seminar lineup has something for everyone. Early bird pricing is $40 per class. And a seminar super pass is available for 160. So I would assume with the super pass you could probably get into most of the classes. Saturday, June 8th will feature a free early bird seminar at 8:30 a.m. Fog Basics presented by Caitlin Hodges of Froggy's Fog. Oh, that'll be interesting because Froggy's is probably the top Froggy's is probably the top fog producer out there, especially with because their juice does really well. Check out the complete lineup. Basically, go to the website if you want to see the lineup and see where if you do plan to attend Midwest Honors Class Convention. Let me know. I'm not going to be able to do it. I've actually never been to a haunted house convention. It's really hard because Transworld for the longest time, unless you were like a haunt owner or like somehow in the haunt industry, which I was, but I also wasn't going to travel from Virginia all the way to St. Louis. Um, you couldn't get in if you weren't a member of the haunt industry, and I think they've actually changed that a little bit now, and they've made it a lot more accessible. Being in Philadelphia, like for the East Coast, Transworld itself, I think, was in Philadelphia, or maybe it was back in St. Louis. I really don't know, honestly. Um, I think it was still in St. Louis because there's an East Coast Haunters Convention, which is in Philadelphia, and then there's the Midwest Haunters Convention, which is in of course, Chicago. Uh, Also, the Haunters Against Hate Award Luncheon is Friday, June 7th from noon to 2 in Rosemont. So if you're attending the convention, the Midwest Haunters Convention, be sure to check that out. It's basically giving awards to like Haunted House Awards, Haunter of the Year, Legacy Award, and the Jesse McDonald Memorial Award. Tickets are on sale for $50 a person. It's a good way to get together and network with a bunch with your fellow haunters. Uh, there's some U.S. haunted events. Novak Manor in West Allis, Wisconsin, will return for the 2024 season. I don't know much about this haunt. After their special event permit was approved by the city of West Allis last October, the home haunt was forced to shut down after a complaint was made that they were not following their special event permit. Which happens a lot. Like they do kind of neighbors will target home hunters, especially if they don't, because they don't want the noise and all the people and everything. Um, the haunt that I originally worked at first, um, the Hunt Club Haunted Hayride in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Uh, they had an issue with like that with the people who live behind the farm. Um, the issue with the Hunt Club is they were a farm. They were more of like an entertainment venue, but a farm that was in the middle of the city. Uh, Literally, we had a set of woods in the back corner of the haunt or of the property that we ran a haunted hayride on, and it went right to the backyard of some of the residents of of a neighborhood behind us. So basically, they complained to the city enough that they made a rule that we had to shut down, especially the hayride itself. We had three attractions, but the haunted hayride itself had to shut down by 11 p.m. on weeknights and 11:30 on weekends, no matter what. It had to be shut down by then. Otherwise, we were going to have a noise ordinance. The people around the property hated us because between the noise and the traffic, there was a shit ton of traffic to get into the haunt, and it was a mess. They did have the like police and that out there, sheriff's deputies directing traffic and that. But at the end of the day, it's still backed up pretty far. Um, so yeah, I get why the customer, yeah, complaint was made. It says on here. So yeah, I get why they complain, and I get why they had to shut down. But it still sucks. It sucks when you put your heart and soul and a ton of money. I don't think a lot of people realize how expensive haunting is. Um, to have to shut down because somebody made a complaint, basically. Shortly after, the city passed an ordinance allowing a special zoning exception, allowing the haunt to apply for a new permit for the 2024 season. The city's Economic Development Committee approved the permit unanimously on Tuesday, May 7th, with one abstention from alderperson Patty Novak, who co-owns the Novak Manor property. She had to basically abstain from voting because it's hers. Um, it's her haunt. Co-owner Adam Novak said they were working with neighbors to change traffic patterns and parking to make neighbors more comfortable. What did I just tell you? I knew it was going to end up being something like that. It was going to end up being parking. All right, moving on. Step into a night of nostalgia at Screamfest, or as Screamfest hosts a screening of the 1980 classic Prom Night at the Regency Theater's Van Nuys plant in Van Nuys, California, on Tuesday, May 14th. Too late. We can skip that because it has already passed. So let's see. I think that is gonna end up being the last of our haunt news because there's really not much. This is an older, I guess this newsletter came out at the beginning of the week, so let's go ahead and move on to some more horror movie news. Um, so uh, for those that don't know, there is a new Silent Hill movie coming out. Return to Silent Hill. Um, this week they basically released some images of what Pyramid Head is going to look like in the movie. He looks pretty cool. He looks pretty sweet. I've always been a big fan of Silent Hill, the Silent Hill series, the games, and everything like that. So let's see. Silent Hill movie director Christoph Gans returns to the franchise with Return to Silent Hill, set to be a brand new film adaptation of Silent Hill 2. The film will follow Jeremy Irvine, a man broken after being separated from his one true love, Hannah Emily Anderson, when a mysterious letter calls him back to Silent Hill. In search of her, he finds a once recognizable town transformed by an unknown evil. As James descends deeper into the darkness, encounters terrifying figures, both familiar and new, and begins to question his own sanity as he struggles to make sense of reality and hold on long enough to save his lost love. So, how many? nurses do you think we're going to see? Because the nurses themselves are one of the more popular, are one of the more popular acts from the original series. Like if you go to a movie convention, there's always at least one female, one girl dressed up as a Silent Hill nurse. Not that I'm complaining, it's pretty hot, but yeah, every time. I mean, every convention. Like I said, it's not a bad thing at all by any means, but yeah, it'll always happen. Everybody loves the nurses. They all love the nurses. You also once in a while you'll see somebody dressed as Pyramid Head, whether it be a fat guy like me or someone, big strong dude. Either way, it's pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty good. I always love to see the Pyramid Head costumes. Return to Silent Hill is a mythological love story about someone so deeply in love that they're willing to go to hell to save them, said director Gons. I'm delighted to have the wonderful talents of both Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson to take us on this journey into a psychological horror world that I hope will both satisfy and surprise fans of Silent Hill. Christoph and I have been working closely with our partners at Konami as they update the video game to also create a version of Silent Hill for the theatrical audience of today. Um, I'm always for some new Silent Hill stories and new Silent Hill games. They are very creepy games, and they're just so fun to play. Explain producer Victor Hadida. You will still find the iconic monsters, but there will be also be new designs. We are confident that this new film and Konami's game, updated game together will propel the franchise forward for years to come. Gons wrote the script alongside Sandra Von Voan and William Joseph Schneider. So yeah, that's something to look forward to, definitely. Any Silent Hill stuff is just great. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Um, let's see. What's the next story? So there's a movie also coming out called The Hermit, and we get the first look of the Hermit. Um, the reason that I'm interested in the Hermit, and I have it down here as one of our news stories, is because of who is starring in The Hermit. Known for his starring role in the original Incredible Hulk TV series. That's right, guys. Back in the 70s, Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk himself, is making his way into the horror genre with the upcoming film The Hermit. In the film from director, and I'm going to mess his name up, Salvatore Scalafani, dragged on a vacation to the woods, two self-absorbed teens venture off trails, stumble across a farm, go in, see animal heads hanging from the wall, and fight for their lives against an unstoppable cannibal pig farmer. That's almost like I wrote that synopsis myself. Melina Weissman, a series of unfortunate events, and Anthony Turple from Bloody Bridget co-star along Lou Ferrigno in The Hermit, which is now in post-production. Scatina and Rossner Films has acquired worldwide rights to the horror movie. Basically, yeah, we're gonna get to see Lou Ferrigno, the Hulk, the original Hulk himself, in a horror movie, and I'm 100% for it. What are you guys' thoughts? I mean, if you have any thoughts, let me know, guys, because I love the Hulk. I always have. And I also used to love that show back when I was growing up, back in the 80s. So moving on, Bogeyville. So there's a new movie coming out called Bogeyville. And it actually looks pretty sweet. I got the trailer. We'll watch the trailer here in a second. From Magnificent Films and Silent D Pictures, director Sean Cronin's vampire movie Bogeyville is headed to the Cannes market. I've noticed there's a lot of movies going to Cannes this year. Um, there's going to be a lot of horror movies at the Cannes Film Festival, and that's not a bad thing. That's absolutely not a bad thing. I know it's more of an artsy fartsy festival, but um, getting the horror industry, getting horror movies more exposure is never a bad thing. So we'll see where all this goes, but it is heading to Cannes, and Bloody Disgusting has exclusively been provided with the bloody teaser trailer this afternoon. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch the trailer. How about you guys want to watch the trailer? Let's watch the trailer real quick for Bogeyville.
Madison Farm, mobile home park.
You got anyone gonna come looking for you?
Tell me what the hell is going on.
Vampires.
I want to see y'all burn. I got some bad news about Bogeyville.
What do you guys think? What looks like a hell of a vampire movie. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be good, I think. Let's see. Deadline first reported that Boogieville earlier this week, describing the upcoming film as Southern Fried Vampire Thriller. It's because it's set in the South, and anything from the South has to be Southern fried, as they say. And the vamps in this one look, yeah, this is an opinion right here. The vamps in this look pretty gnarly, which they do. They almost look like the 30 Days of Night vampires. They look awesome though. Uh, Shark like teeth reminding us a bit of the bloodsuckers, and yeah, they're comparing it to Abigail basically. But yeah, hold on one second, guys. Sorry, guys. The kid had a question. So let's see. In the film, a young couple on the run come across the eponymous derelict American trailer park, where they soon learn that the residents are a pack of bloodthirsty vampires. Arifin Putra, I am so bad with names. The Raid 2, and Eloise Lovell Anderson from Villain star alongside Cronin. And Henry P. Gravel wrote the screenplay. To me, that movie looked the trailer made it look amazing. I mean, it really did. Again, if you guys have any opinions on it, please feel free. Let me know, because that just looks really good. Especially if you like vampire movies and like not the romantic style vampire movie. That looks more, again, like I said, more like the 30 Days of Night, like total fucking chaos and carnage and blood style horror movies. Um, Speaking of movies and trailers, let's go ahead and take a look at the new movies releasing this week. Uh, on DVD, on theaters and stuff like that. The first one, I have a trailer for most of these. I do have a bunch of trailers for these. The only one I did not grab a trailer for was the first one because it is a major like mainstream motion picture because box office powerhouse Godzilla, King Kong, The New Empire. Basically, that thing wrecked like $558 million worldwide. So I mean, it started out really strong, and I guess it just after a couple of weeks started fading off because I don't think it was released back in March, so it shouldn't be coming out yet, but it is. But you can now rent or own the film on digital beginning May 14th, which was 2 days ago. Godzilla X King Kong, the new empire sees legendary titans Godzilla and King Kong team up to face a world-ending threat so terrifying that neither of them could survive it alone. basically your Godzilla King Kong buddy cop movie. Megan wrote in her, let's see, there's reviews and da da da. We're not gonna like I said, it's coming out. It's on probably on Amazon. You could probably rent it and buy it. I would assume it since it's still new, it's probably the $20 price to rent it. Um, and probably like a couple more dollars to buy it. So I just say buy it. I mean, you know it's gonna be a good movie. Godzilla, very rare. I mean, it goes wrong sometimes, but it doesn't go wrong very often. But let's go ahead and move on to some movies we have some trailers for. Uh, we have the next movie that's out this week, inspired by a true story, Silence of the Prey, Prey, follows an undocumented immigrant mother who takes a caretaker job for an elderly man, only to discover a horrifying truth. The film marks the directorial debut of Karina Kudzina, Karina Kudzina, who co-directed with Michael Vainberg, and it's now available on VOD outlets from the Horror Collective. Let's take a look at the trailer for Silence of the Prey.
The tradition of the harvest was later started by
The
Walter.
harvest.
Yeah, it's a festivity that occurs after the fall harvest, or a time of abundance where we celebrate the gifts given from this land.
Like a Thanksgiving.
All consumed for a week.
Yeah, something like that. The harvest. The harvest.
It's like a Thanksgiving.
What do you guys think? It yeah, could be. It looks again. I keep using the same adjectives, and that looks intense. It looks like it's gonna be a slow burn though. Like from the beginning, like it's gonna take a little bit to get to the killing and that, but at the end, it looks pretty good. It looks, looks like it's got the violence, it's got the gore, and it's got a good story behind it. So yeah, let's see. In Silence of the Prey, in a desperate bid to secure a future for her child, an undocumented immigrant mother takes a caretaker job. Unbeknownst to her, the elderly man conceals a horrifying truth, which we just read. She's the next item on the menu. Monty Monte Bezel, Michael Doyle, Loriana Israelova, Karina Kudzina, Chris LaPanta, and Rebecca Packer all star in Silence of the Prey. It's gonna be good. Gotta love cannibal movies, and especially creepy ones like that. It looks creepy. Next on the list, this is a movie. A lot of people I know have been looking forward to this. Um, it opens in theaters technically tomorrow, but I think most theaters like release their movies on Thursday nights now. But the first, basically, apparently, it's going to be a reboot trilogy from director Rennie Harlan. The Strangers Chapter 1 hits theaters this Friday, which is tomorrow, but it more than likely comes. It more than likely comes out tonight, guys. Let's not lie. Let's not fool ourselves. Most movies come out on Thursday night now. Madeline Petch from Riverdale, Froy Gutierrez from Hocus Pocus 2, Rachel Shenton from The Silent Child, Emma Horvath from Rings of Power, and Gabe Basso from Hillbilly Elegy all-star in the movie based on the original 2008 cult horror franchise. Wow, it's been that long, huh? Wow. Horror franchise. The project features Petch, who drives cross country with her longtime boyfriend Gutierrez to begin a new life in the Pacific Northwest. When their car breaks down in Venus, Oregon, they're forced to spend the night in a secluded Airbnb where they are terrorized from dusk till dawn by three masked strangers. Then it lists off the synopsis, but it's exactly what I just read to you guys. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the trailer for Strangers Chapter 1.
Do you know what today is?
Today is the third day of our 3-day road trip across the country.
Or our 5-year anniversary. What a cool little town. I actually like this so much better than a hotel. I bet the people who live here are really happy.
Tough crowd, right?
Hi.
Hi.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
The silence. It's nice. Is Tamara here?
No?
I think you have the wrong home. That was weird. You are the messiest eater on the planet.
Lock the front door!
Why are you doing this to us? Because you're here.
I hate when a movie trailer goes that long. But yeah, Strangers Chapter 1. So I guess there's going to be 3 parts from the sound of it because they do call it a trilogy. I like the original better. I just I've not seen this movie. I might go see it. I don't know. I got some free tickets on my Regal account, so I might go. Or Cinemark. I got a Cinemark. I don't have Regal. We don't have Regal. We have one Regal here, but I don't like it. But I already like the line better from the original, though. Where they, why are you doing this? And in this one, in the new one, she says, because you're here. In the original, it was more creepy because they said, why are you here? Because you were home. Got it fucked up. But yeah, if you're gonna see The Strangers, if you do see it, let me know how it is. Let's all talk about. That one of the best things about horror is being able to talk about horror, right? Moving on, our next movie coming out this week. It looks like it's gonna be. Well, I guess it's getting a theatrical release tomorrow as well. Worldwide theatrical release tomorrow. Fresh off the haunting and singularly creepy indie, We're All Going to the World's Fair, which I didn't see that. James Schoenberg is back with A24's I Saw the TV Glow. I guess it opened limited back on the 3rd, 2 weeks ago, and now it's going to open wide in theaters. I'll have to take a look at that here in a second to see if it's even opening here. Um, and I saw the glow. Owen is just trying to make it through life in the suburbs when his classmate introduces him to a mysterious TV show, a vision of a supernatural world beneath their own. In the pale glow of the television, Owen's view of reality begins to crack. So, guys, let's take a look at the trailer for I Saw the TV Glow.
I know this might sound crazy. I don't want to alarm you. Do you remember a TV show we used to watch together? It was called...
The Pinko Pig?
Yeah. Do you watch? Each episode, they help each other fight a new monster from across the county. But it's way too scary for most kids.
If we're gonna defeat him this time, we're gonna need to harness the full potential of our shared powers.
Sometimes the Pinko Pig feels more real than real life.
Maddie, it was a TV show.
Are you sure that's all it was? I like girls, you know that, right?
Totally, that's fine.
What about you? Do you like girls?
I think that I like TV shows.
It's our destiny.
How can I have a destiny?
Something's wrong. This isn't how life is supposed to feel. Tell me you know it's true.
Maddie, it's just the suburbs.
Seems like you're always somewhere else lately.
Maddie disappeared without a trace. All they found was her TV set burning in the backyard. I told myself I made the right choice. What if I really was someone else? Very far away on the other side of a television screen.
It looks interesting. It could be. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely a movie geared for teenagers. Which is fine. It's great as long as it doesn't go the Twilight route. I think we're good. I might go see it. I might wait for it to come out, but it looks good. It looks interesting. Let's see what were we. Megan Navarro wrote in her Sundance review for BD for Bloody Disgusting, and it's just basically it's a review, and I'm not going to read the review because everybody go make your own decisions. Justice Smith and Bridget Lundy Payne lead the cast in the upcoming horror movie. Justice Smith is from Jurassic World Dominion, and Bridget Lundy Payne was in the brand new Bill and Ted movie and Bombshell. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Take a look, watch it, have fun. Next movie we are going to this one looks good. This is for those who haven't been paying attention, Tubi has been making their own movies. They've been releasing their own movies for a while now, and this is definitely one of them that I'm gonna take a look at. This comes out tomorrow. It is called, and the movie's called Killer Body Count. In the Tubi slasher, mistaken for a sex addict by her devout father, Cammy is sent to an isolated rehab center. But when a killer begins to hunt the teens, Cammy realizes that her survival and her independence are intertwined in ways she could never imagine. So everybody, let's take a look at the there it is. At the trailer for Killer Body Count that releases on Tubi tomorrow afternoon. Or tomorrow, I guess.
I grant consent to treat my daughter as necessary.
What is this place?
Beautiful Savior Treatment Center.
Hello there!
You must be Cammy. The girls' rooms are in the main building. That's where the boys' cabin is.
See something you like?
Yeah. No phones allowed during treatment.
There's something not right about this place. Very.
It all depends on Cammy's willingness to change.
Sexual immorality, impurity, and debauchery.
How did you know what I did last Thursday? 20 years ago, a 17-year-old priest killed all the other kids, the nuns, everyone. There's no getting out of here.
Want to break some rules?
So much for rehab.
The devil followed me here.
The devil.
Maybe he only kills people who, you know.
We need to leave now. There is a killer on the loose.
This isn't some 80s slasher. The call isn't coming from inside the house.
You're deviants. Jezebels. You laugh in God's name. Yes! There will be consequences.
Do you know how to use this?
Yeah, I saw it on Stranger Things.
Oh.
How wild does that look? It looks like it's gonna. It looks like it's definitely a horror comedy. I love my horror comedies, and I'll be watching. I'll definitely be watching. The cast for Killer Body Count includes Cecile Edith Winnick as Cammy, George Savannah Tardo as Wyatt, Kosi Ngema, I'm really bad with names, as Ali, Nikon Mamechka or Meha. I am so sorry for butchering these names. As Mia, Alex McGregor as Tawny, Bjorn Steinbach as Eugene, and Jesse Diapiven as Bree. Keep an eye out tomorrow on Tubi. Tubi, of course, is free for the new movies, and check that out. It looks great. I might be watching it first thing. We might watch it tomorrow night with dinner. I don't know. Depends on what we do for dinner tomorrow. So we might be watching that with dinner tomorrow. So finally, last but not least, the 1994 Danish thriller Night Watch gets a brand new sequel with Night Watch Demons Are Forever. And original Night Watch star Nicolaj Coster-Waldau leads the cast. This will hit Shudder. This is going to come out on Shudder tomorrow. Let's take a look at the trailer and then we'll talk about the movie.
Skal vi til at blive kærester? Hvad? Nej. For vi kender ikke sammen, ikke?
De kender ikke sammen, ikke?
Alle rigtige mænd har ikke kendt ikke sammen. Hvad er det for noget natterbøj?
De gamle. Nattevagt på retsmedicinsk. Var der ikke noget med en psykopat og en nattevagt herinde for mange år siden?
Skalperede sine ofre. Knippede dem bagefter. Fuck, sygt, crazy pervert shit.
Var det ikke en ventelsesdokumentær igen? Jeg som skød ham.
Hvor tror du, Værmer er død?
Jeg vil møde ham. Har du forsøgt at slå mine forældre ihjel? Han sidder på Sankt Hans. Kære far. Kære Værmer. Fuck dig!
Nattevagt, ligesom sin far. Det er jo genialt. Så mangler vi bare en morder.
Hvem er du?
Værmer?
Og så stiller han mig det spørgsmål. En hver buddhist vil elske at få. Har du nogensinde prøvet at blive slået ihjel?
Hun er blevet skalperet. Er det ikke Værmers signatur?
Hvor er du det fra?
Er han slået på hovedet?
En copycat. Er du crazy? Ligesom din far?
That look, yeah. I'm I really can't comment because I'm not gonna lie and say that I watched the original, but I did not. I did not watch the original yet. I've always meant to, but the subtitles, especially I can't watch it with. I could watch a movie with subtitles. I actually really like watching movies with subtitles on, but I can't do it when someone's sitting next to me because they always want to talk, and it distracts me from the movie. But yeah, it releases tomorrow on Shutter. Uh, Original cast members Kim Bodnia and Ulf Pilgard also reunite and reprise their roles from the 1994 film, which inspired the 1997 U.S. remake starring Ewan McGregor. In the upcoming sequel, 22-year-old medical student Emma has just taken a job as the night watch in the same forensic department where her parents were once almost killed by the famed psychopathic police inspector Vormer. The events led to her mother's suicide and her father Martin has turned to tranquilizers to suppress the memories. Determined to investigate what exactly happened to them, Emma tracks down and confronts Vormer, only to unintentionally reawaken his bloodthirst and ignite a violent revenge on everyone who sealed his destiny years ago. So yeah, it sounds great. Wait, did I miss one? I missed one, but I think we talked about this one the other day anyways. Faceless After Dark comes out. Uh is coming out on VOD outlets this Friday. I think we did talk about that last week though. So that's your wrap up for the movies that are releasing this week. Uh I mean, know your thoughts and see which one you're gonna go watch. Gonna go see. Um so moving on. This isn't really horror movie news, but I'm excited for it because I like the game, I like the original movie. Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema have announced tonight, or I don't know what day this was, but have announced that their movie sequel, Mortal Kombat 2, will be fighting its way to theaters not this Halloween, but next Halloween. As it comes to theaters October 24th, 2025. I can't see anybody releasing it. If you release a movie this Halloween, it better be damn good. Because Terrifier 3 comes out and it's going to be dominating the box office probably most of the month of October. Um, because it's Terrifier and it looks amazing. So, but you can expect the film to release in IMAX as well as traditional theaters. Simon McQuoid returns to the director's seat for Mortal Kombat 2, which will feature a screenplay by Jeremy Slater, who wrote The Exorcist and Moon Knight. I'm assuming that's the new. I don't know if it's the original Exorcist or not. The cast of fresh faces for Mortal Kombat 2 include Martin Ford from The Sandman, Desmond Chain from The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Anathu Goyan, Suka, and Damon Harriman from The House of Wax and The Nightingale, alongside Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Carl Urban is back and he's going to be Johnny Cage. Tati Gabriel as Jade, and Adeline Rudolph as Katana. In 2021's Mortal Kombat, MMA fighter Cole Young, accustomed to taking a beating for money, is unaware of his heritage or why Outworld's Emperor Shang Tsung has sent his best warrior Sub-Zero on an otherworldly cryomancer to hunt Cole down. Fearing for his family's safety, Cole goes in search of Sonya Blade at the direction of Jax, a special forces major who bears the same strange demon marking Cole was born with. Soon he finds himself at the temple of Lord Raiden, an elder god and protector of Earthrealm, who grants sanctuary to those who bear the mark. Here, Cole trains with experienced warriors Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and rogue mercenary Kano. as he prepares to stand with Earth's greatest champions against the enemies of Outworld in a high stakes battle for the universe. But will Cole be pushed hard enough to unlock his arcana, the immense power from within his soul, in time to save not only his family but to stop Outworld once and for all? I believe that was the original one, right? Yeah, that was the original one. I don't know why they have all that there. But in addition to Louis Tan as Cole Young, returning cast includes Jessica McName or McNamee as Sonya Blade, Josh Lawson as Kano, Tadanobu Asano as Lord Raiden, Makad Brooks as Jax, Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, Chin Han as Shang Tsung, Joe Taslim as Bihan and Sub-Zero as Bihan and Sub-Zero, Hiroyuki Sanada as Hanzo Hasashi and Scorpion, and Max Wang as Kung Lao. I'm excited. I love Mortal Kombat. I love the Mortal Kombat movies. I love the Mortal Kombat games. And that's gonna be so friggin' awesome. Like beyond awesome. I'm the weird one who likes the original movie. I like the original Mortal Kombat movie as well, but yeah, the sequel's gonna be it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so kick ass. Okay, so this one's interesting too. If you're a wrestling fan, pay attention. Because an upcoming horror movie from Averted Vision Pictures, You Lose, You Die, is the name of the movie. Will star Freddy Rodriguez. For some reason, it lists VHS 85 here, but everybody remembers Freddy Rodriguez as your favorite zombie killer from Planet Terror. And WWE superstar Charlotte Flair. That is right. Charlotte Flair is going to be in a new horror movie called You Lose, You Die. And the story sounds awesome. It's got a very Running Man, um, it's got a very Running Man esque feel to it, but in its own little spin on it. But deadline details: You Lose, You Die follows sociopathic tech expert Mr. Fantastic, Freddy Rodriguez, who runs a popular show on the dark web with two other sociopathic tech experts, Ms. Perfect, Charlotte Flair, and Mr. Creep, Anthony Alvarez. On the show, thousands of viewers vote on games and challenges for prisoners to participate in. If the prisoners lose, viewers vote on the weapons the sociopaths use to kill them. The cast includes Josh Brettel, Sofia Zimba, Ashley Hernandez, Alejandro Duran, Noah Kreider, Marcela Acuna, Mercy Grant, and Lydia Faith Gomez. In addition to starring, Freddy Rodriguez will also produce the film. Um, that's just gonna be interesting. So I know a lot of people don't watch wrestling, but when you watch, but Charlotte Flair is probably one of the top females in the industry, if not the top female in the industry. Uh, she's been out for a while, little over a year and a half now. About a little. I know it's over a year. With an injury to her shoulder, I think. It's either shoulder or her knee. I don't really remember which one it is. Um, but the fact that she's been doing this on her time off, this is going to be awesome. It sounds like a great movie, great concept, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to be good. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people, a lot of wrestling fans don't care for Charlotte because they say she's been overpushed or um, just too much done with her. But I still like her. We got here. Next one. Let's moving on. Just when you've recovered from those creepy clown sightings of 2016, London-based indie studio Shogun Films and director Phil Clayton, who brought us lesbian vampire killers, are traumatizing us all over again with Halloween. And we've got basically some stills came out from the movie. I don't have them because I can't download them. Starring Janine Narissa Sothcott from Renegades, Michael Perry from Streets of Fire and Ronan Summers' Code of Silence. Halloween is described as a high-concept clown horror with lo-fi punk attitude. The full plot synopsis for Halloween, which is currently in post-production, reads as follows. Set during the sinister killer clown craze of 2016, I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but basically a bunch of people were dressing as killer clowns and just basically fucking with people. And a lot of people overreacted and made it a way bigger deal than it really was. Um, but yeah, it was just a craze. It was weird. Dr. Ellen Marks Southcott, aided by investigative journalist John Parker Paré, traces the source of the phenomena to one of her patients, incarcerated charismatic serial killer Carl Kane, who was using the insidious clown symbolism to recruit an army of the disenfranchised and launch a murderous anarchist movement from London across the globe. With Kane escaped and on the run on October 31st, shocker, can they stop him before he unleashes hell on Halloween? Director and writer Clayton teased that Halloween will take some cues from classic British horror of yours, saying, "What if the 2016 creepy clown sightings had a motive and a mastermind behind it? That premise birthed Halloween, a high concept clown horror we made with lo-fi punk attitude. The production harked back to the Hammer era, giving creative freedom to craft a fast-paced thrill ride and clown carnage for the modern horror audience. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a good. I love I love me some clown movies. I like clowns. I like being a clown. Um, but it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. Film Bridge After Dark will be selling Halloween worldwide at Cannes later this week, so we're sure we'll hear a lot about it very soon. In the meantime, they basically says enjoy the clowning exclusive stills. Yet another movie going to Cannes. Um, so yeah, it's just so cool to see horror kind of get in the mainstream a little bit. I don't, we don't want it to stay in the mainstream because mainstream horror kind of sucks. But the fact that it's going mainstream, going to Cannes, getting recognition, getting acknowledgement that hey, there is another genre of movie out there that deserves to be, looked at is still pretty cool. Again, I'm not a big fan of Cannes, but hey, if it gets horror movies on a national level, by all means. So we have one more thing to talk about after the news, but final news story for this week, Shark Week was announced. For the 36th year in a row, or for the 36th year, Discovery Channel's beloved week-long annual celebration, Shark Week, is once again swimming our way, and it's set to kick off Sunday, July 7th, 2024, because, it's always right around 4th of July because Jaws came out. Jaws was set on the 4th of July. Discovery Channel has announced this week, this is going to be funny, that WWE superstar slash Peacemaker star John Cena will be hosting Shark Week, which has been lighting up your summer since 1988. Discovery previews Shark Week hosted by John Cena promises to be an electrifying and unforgettable experience that will leave you in awe of the world beneath the waves. One of the highlights of this week-long event will be the premiere of Belly of the Beast Part 2, an intense, eye-opening show that delves into the world of great white shark feeding frenzies. You can also look forward to Monster Hammerhead Species X, a captivating exploration of a potential new species of hammerhead shark. Plus, great white serial killer Sea of Blood, a gripping tale of a great white shark wreaking havoc in a local village. And keep an eye out for more incredible shark species to be highlighted this year. And speaking of sharks, a whole lot of brand new shark attack horror movies are in the works for 2024. This is basically during the summer, a lot of shark movies come out. Shark movies they can be fun, but it can also be way over the top. But let's see. We got Lizzie Green is starring in High Tide, and Sean Byrne is directing Dangerous Animals for starters. While Tommy Vercola is making his own untitled shark movie. Also, don't forget about Netflix's Under Paris, a shark attack horror movie from French filmmaker Xavier Gens that's premiering on the streaming service on June 5th. And then there's the wacky Graveyard Shark, also swimming our way this summer. Okay, Graveyard Shark might be a watch. We're even getting a third 47 Meters Down movie, no, which has been titled 47 Meters Down, The Wreck. Sharks, they're everywhere lately. Sorry about that. I had to mute myself there for a second so I could sneeze. But everybody gets excited for Shark Week. Everybody gets excited for shark movies. They can, like I said, they can be fun or they can be cheesy. I mean, who hasn't seen Santa Jaws, right? But that wraps up all the news for this week. A lot more than usual because I wanted to make sure I filled at least an hour, and we have done that. But I want to talk about one more thing. In a little over a month, you will catch yours truly in Indianapolis, Indiana, the weekend of July 5th through the 7th for Days of the Dead. Like I said, in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it doesn't list where's the hotel? There it is. At the Indianapolis Marriott East Convention Center and Hotel. It's one of my favorite conventions. Because it's smaller than Horror Hound. There's a lot more to do. There's a lot more going on. They also have some of the better concerts, the better after parties, and that. Which I mean, if you're going to a convention, you want to make sure you have a really good after party. So, what I want to do real quick, I know it's a long list. We'll go as quick as we can. I want to go down the guest list and talk about some of these folks. Hopefully, you guys will stay tuned for a little bit longer. I won't go too much longer, but so let's look at the guest list for Days of the Dead. The first one and the show headliner himself is, of course, Brad Dorff. Let me see if I can find this story because they did just announce something on their website or on their Facebook page. I'm still looking for it. There it is. All right, so needless to say, Brad Dorff is going to have extremely long lines. So what Days of the Dead is doing is starting tomorrow. Days of the Dead in Indianapolis is anticipating long lines for Brad Dorff. We wanted fans the opportunity to buy autograph tickets early to guarantee your spot. So basically, they want to try. They basically want to try to make sure if you spend a little extra, you'll guarantee yourself an autograph with Brad Dorff. They know his lines are going to be out the ass, and it's going to be crazy. Because the reason for that is because Brad Dorff is not going to do many more conventions. For those who don't, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but Brad Dorff, of course, is Chucky. He is the voice of Chucky. He played the original Charles Lee Ray in the original Child's Play before he, went into the doll. He's been in other things like Lord of the Rings. He plays I think it's Wormtail is this guy's name, or Worm something. He plays one of Saruman's minions, basically. He's been in The Exorcist, 3, Dune, New Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween, that is, Alien Resurrection. I mean, just so many movies. He was in Deadwood. He played the doctor in the show Deadwood, which, again, one of my favorite shows. So they want to make sure people can get, their spot, and this is for the people who haven't bought a VIP, because VIP in general, the VIP pass holders will always get the first crack, because they're spending. I see here. Hold on, let me look at the tickets real quick. For a VIP ticket, at Actually, looks like. Let's see. For a VIP ticket, for the VIP package for Days of the Dead, you're going to spend $240. Um, and that gets you like you get a lot of stuff. You get front of the line pass for everybody. You get like there's a meet and greet before the show. You get priority seating at all of the panels. You get priority everything basically. For $249.99. So what they're doing for Brad Dorf at the convention is they're also including line skipping privileges right after Days of the Dead VIP pass holders, but before general admission. So basically, you get to line up after the Days of the Dead VIP pass holders. Um, they have limited it to 100 per day though. So basically, the package includes basically it's going to be $90. I believe that's what I saw. I don't see it on here right now. Where is it? I know it said $90 before, I believe. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to find the info for you guys. I'm pretty sure it said 90. Yeah, it doesn't have it on here, but I'm almost positive it said $90. So basically for that $90, you're guaranteed one autograph. Um, so I mean that alone would pay for it technically because the autograph is probably anywhere between $60 to $80, if not $100 from him. But you're guaranteed one autograph. Your item or one item from the table, one ticket equals one autograph. Front of the line access, basically you're gonna get skip the line after the Days of the Dead VIP pass holders. You are only allowed 5 items to sign though. That's one of the big things that's been going around with a lot of conventions lately is they're limiting how many items somebody can get autographed. I am 100% for that because there's nothing worse than standing in line. You want to get one person autographed, but the guy in front of you has like 20 items to get autographed, and he has to get a picture of everything being autographed because this was how he proves that they signed it. Um, He's got and all that good stuff so that people don't call him a liar. Basically, he's a dealer. The dealers take up so much time at a convention, and that's a lot of what ends up costing people meeting their favorite celebrity, meeting the celebrity they want at a convention is because somebody's up there with like 20 items for them to sign. But you only get to get 5 items signed. Autograph ticket does not include the convention admission. Of course, it does not. If you thought that, you're kind of silly. So you must have a weekend or a day pass. Does not include a photo op. They're only selling 100 of these per day. Um, so yeah, so basically, from the sound of it, you can get up to 5 items sold. You will have to pay for 4 more autographs after you pay for the initial one. Um, and then you of course get to get in line behind everybody else. At least behind the folks who have bought the VIP package. But yeah, Brad Dorf will be appearing all weekend. Next we have Michael Ironside. Scanners, the final, V the final. What did that say? V the final something. Starship Troopers and Total Recall. I remember him from Total Recall and from Scanners, of course. Uh, Moving on, we have John Lovitz. If you don't know who John Lovitz is, then you're not a child of the '90s. John Lovitz was a huge comedian back in the '90s. Saturday Night Live, Hotel Transylvania, Tales from the Crypt, The Wedding Singer, Little Nicky, Rat Race. I loved him in Little Nicky. He played. He's the guy that gets he's the peeping Tom. Um, who gets basically raped by the bird in Little Nicky. Um, But my favorite thing he's ever done, he was in Ben. Like basically, if there's a Adam Sandler movie out there, he's one of those guys that's in almost all of them. I loved him in High School High, which is like a spoof of the principal um, or the substitute. But my favorite thing he's done is The Critic. I will definitely be bringing my box set. I have the entire box set, the box set of the entire series for The Critic. I will definitely be finding that and bringing that to get signed because, god damn, I love The Critic. Next, Christopher McDonald from Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin himself. He is also in Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion, The Faculty, and Requiem for a Dream. That is how many chances do you get to meet Shooter McGavin? That's going to be great. Danielle Harris, she does a lot of these. Danielle Harris, of course, Michael Myers' niece from Halloween 4 and 5, and then she played the sheriff's daughter in Rob Zombie's Halloween, where she met Scout Taylor Compton. I haven't seen her in a while. Last time I saw her at a convention, she was still a teenager. Because it was 2000, right about 2008, 2009, right 2008 was right before Rob Zombie's Halloween came out. Scout Taylor Compton, of course, Laurie Strode in Rob Zombie's Halloween's 1 and 2, and she was also in The Runaways. She's done a few like low budget, indie horror movies. She never really made a big name for herself outside of that. I know her and Danielle Harris have been posing together for a few more risque photographs, but sweet girl. Last time I met her, at least when she was a teenager. Let's see. That's a good autograph to get, especially if you're a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween's. C.J. Graham. We move on to C.J. Graham. Jason from Friday the 13th, Part 6. Jason Lives. He's gonna be in full costume doing the photo op, so that'll be fun if you're a Jason fan like myself. Buy that, get that photo op. Costas Mandylor. Basically, if you name him, he's in Saw 3, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, Saw 7, and Saw 10. I'm not a fan of Saws. I've never really watched most of them after 3. I think it's the husband. Is it? No, he's a victim in a lot of these. It looks like. So he'll be there. Jackson Robert Scott, little Georgie from It, will be signing some autographs from It and It Chapter 2. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw. Judith Roberts from Dead Silence will be in town. She'll be signing. Skid Row, Rachel Bolt. Is it Raquel Boland or Rachel Boland and Dave Snake Sabo or Sabo? I don't know how to say people's names. I'm sorry, guys. We move on to Mike DeLuna, Jason from Friday the 13th, Part 3, one of my favorite Jason movies. And he was in The Rocketeer. So that'll be a good autograph right there. How about if you're going to get Brad Dorff, you're going to get Chucky's autograph. How about we go get Alex Vincent's autograph? Andy himself from Child's Play 1 and 2, and then Curse and Cult of Chucky. So you can get Chucky and Andy's autograph on both both at the same convention. And then let's move on to the third one. Another great autograph. If you're a big fan of Chucky, Fiona Dorff, Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky. She's in the Chucky TV series and True Blood. I believe Alex Vincent was in the Chucky TV series as well. But Fiona Dorff will be appearing all weekend. Then we move on to Courtney Gaines. I've seen he is from Children of the Corn. He is the big redhead. He's Rob Zombie's Halloween, The Burbs. I love The Burbs. And Back to the Future. I gotta watch Back to the Future. I don't know who the hell he plays in Back to the Future. I don't remember him being in Back to the Future. But yes, he will be there. John Franklin, Malachi himself from Children of the Corn. He was also in Child's Play and Addams Family as he played Cousin It. Then moving on to John Philbin, Children of the Corn. He's basically the husband. Return of the Living Dead, Point Break, definitely a good Children of the Corn reunion. I guess we'll probably have a Children of the Corn panel to go take a look at. Moving on, we have this is my favorite. This is the whole reason I want to go to this convention, and I'm going to this convention. We have a Revenge of the Nerds reunion. I am so excited for this because I love Revenge of the Nerds. We have Andrew Cassis, the youngest kid. What the hell's the kid's name? Oh my god! But he's gonna be there. Brian Tochi, uh, Revenge. Brian Tochi, the Japanese nerd. I got bad with names. And he was also Leonardo in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Moving on, we have Curtis Armstrong, Booger himself. Revenge of the Nerd, all the Revenge of the Nerds movie, Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise, which I like the part 2 better. Better Off Dead, but a lot of people don't realize he's in American Dad. He is the voice of Snot in American Dad. So that's going to be fun. Donald Gibb, Ogre himself, is going to be there. Also, between Revenge of the Nerds, he was also in Bloodsport. I do remember him in Bloodsport. I love Bloodsport. We are going to do Bloodsport eventually on the podcast. Um, we're having a Scanners reunion with Stephen Lack, Michael Ironside, and Jennifer O'Neill. So that'll be fun. Friday the 13th Part 3 reunion with basically almost the entire cast. Paul Kratka, Tracy Savage, Mike DeLuna, David Kedms, who plays the hippie, Larry Zerner, the guy that gave Jason the mask himself, Shelley, and Kevin O'Brien, one of the bikers. That's going to be fun. Julia Montgomery, we're going back to the Revenge of the Nerds reunion because we have Julia Montgomery, the love interest, the female love interest of Lewis. Who can forget her going, basically wanting the football. I'm so bad at the bad names. Ted McGinley's character to come in and have sex in the funhouse. So Lewis sneaks in as Darth Vader. They do the deed, and she realizes just how much better nerds are at having sex than jocks. We move on to Larry B. Scott, the gay African American nerd. Oh, what the hell? I'm so bad. How am I having a brain fart on these names right now? Because I know their names. Revenge of the Nerds 1 and 2. I think he's in all of them. He was also in The Karate Kid. Moving on, we have Robert Carradine, Lewis himself, basically the star of Revenge of the Nerds, the head nerd himself. Revenge of the Nerds 2, Escape from LA, Ghosts of Mars. Just Lewis himself. Make him do the laugh if you meet him. And Timothy Busfield, Poindexter. Poindexter's the one in the final when they're doing in the big music thing at the end where he's the guy that plays the violin. Again, so excited for that. Rick Szewski or Szynski, I can never say. Yeah, from Terrifier 2, he'll be there. If anything, he'll probably be selling stuff there. I think that's where he usually does it. He has a vendor table. But he was in the movie. Dinah Meyer from Saw, Piranha 3D, Saw 3, Starship Troopers. She'll be there signing autographs. Kim Coates from Sons of Anarchy, Silent Hill, Resident Evil Afterlife. Just so much good stuff. Mark Boone Jr., Sons of Anarchy, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and The Mandalorian. The only cancellation they have so far is Heather Langenkamp. Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street has canceled. But if you're in the area, you'll probably get to meet her. And they haven't fully announced everybody for Horror Hound Cincinnati, but I assume she'll be part of it because Robert England's there. And usually, if Robert England is around, Nancy is not. Freddy Krueger's around. Nancy's not too far to follow. But that wraps it up, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. I hope everybody enjoyed the live. If you guys want this to be a regular thing, by all means. join us. You can always join us here every Friday here on X at the Bloody Binge. On X at the Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. You can join us YouTube on the Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. And also on Facebook. We have a group there, but I cannot stream to Facebook groups anymore. But we were going to start streaming on Twitch as well at the I believe it's Sewer Dweller actually on Twitch. That's my gamer handle, gamer tag. Also, you can catch us if you missed the live video version on Fridays. You can also catch us on wherever you can stream podcasts, basically Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and so many other streaming services, podcast streaming services out there. Just look us up, the Bloody Binge Movie Podcast. Don't forget to join us tomorrow as we introduce our new podcast, Shivers. With Shivers, we will be exploring the paranormal, the true crime, cults. We'll be doing cryptozoology like Bigfoots. We'll be doing alien encounters. We'll be doing so much. So much on that. So much outside of the realm of the movie podcast movies and that. But if you like the movies, if you want to talk about movies, you want to hear us talk about movies, join us next Friday. We're going cult. We're going cult classic next Friday as we bring to you 1980s comedy starring John Murray, Bill Murray's brother, and Jennifer Tilly as we go and we start creating some moving violations. Everything's coming to you that's coming to you next week. Tomorrow we got Shivers from Colonial we're going to talk about Colonial Williamsburg tomorrow. The paranormal side of Colonial Williamsburg, somewhere that's very deep and close to my heart. But guys, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Enjoy us. We are not gonna I'm not gonna upload this to Spotify and that because this is a very visual. This was a very visual episode with a lot of the trailers and everything. So it really wouldn't transfer very well like to Spotify where you can only listen, you can't watch. So guys, keep an eye out. Go back, trust me, go back, watch some of the other podcasts. Right now, Rollerblade is my most popular episode of all things. Send me suggestions for movies you want us to watch. Send us some suggestions if you're a fan of the paranormal or anything. Send us some suggestions on stuff like that. But by all means, guys, keep yourselves safe. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow for our debut episode of Shivers. Peace.